Blog Talk Radio.
Hey God, we need some help down here. The devil's been a busy man, bullying us all year. He's spinning lies, made us pick a side. Now our fists are up. We're headed down a path where a mask can't save us. So Lord, I pray with all my might, help us see each other through your eyes. Let's take the red, take the blue, wave the white, call it truce, build a bridge across the line drawn through this country before hindsight's 2020. Hey God,
good evening, everybody, and welcome to All You Need to Know Radio. I am your host, John Hollywood, and welcome to the world we now live in. On tonight's show, we have a jam-packed show for you. First, the prosecution in the Trump impeachment second trial has rested their case. Did they do enough to prove to Republicans that Donald Trump is, in fact, a clear and present danger to the United States of America and the American people? Also, Joe Biden, our brand new president, just is doing an amazing job. I thank God for him every day. And we actually have a president that cares. Announces that he will have every American vaccinated. Stay tuned for when. Entertainment Watch. Pop princess Britney Spears releases a shocking documentary actually showing the insides of her lives and how it actually affects the pop princess when the media slams her, talks bad about her, and makes up lies about her and her family and her kids. And a lot of people are coming to Britney's defense that you actually would not probably think that they would, or at least I didn't. And we have a song pick of the week that I'm very excited about. And, we're going to have our amazing constitutional attorney with us, Amos Waranch. And with that, All You Need to Know Radio starts right now. Everyone in America and around the world, are you ready for our show tonight? That's the amazing, incomparable Taylor Swift, who just announced today, remember Scooter Braun sold her. She just announced that she has finished a brand new album called Fearless, which was one of her number one albums back when she was under his management, that she says incredibly blows the original album out of the water, making Braun's masters irrelevant. We'll talk about that in Entertainment Watch. Let's get you Amos Waranch with Waranch and Nunn. Hello, Amos.
Hello, John. Thanks for having me on. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, sir. So how up to date are you with all the stuff going on in the Senate?
Pretty up to date. I've been following the impeachment proceedings closely. I understand the prosecution rests this afternoon, and pretty interesting times we're living in.
Yeah, I'm just going to go on record and I'm going to tell everybody that everybody needs to understand this impeachment trial is not like a normal civil or a criminal trial where the procedures will be so much different, and Donald Trump would definitely be found guilty in any of those courts of laws. However, this is a political trial, meaning that the cowardly Republicans are more worried about losing their seats in the Senate than putting a criminal president in his place and in history. We'll see. What do you think?
I think your analysis is pretty much spot on, sir. The prosecution's claim, I mean, one of the, like we've talked about before on this show, you know, the issue with the Mueller report and the allegation of the conspiracy to defraud the United States for the conspiracy with Russia was a very complicated allegation, and it did not result in impeachment charges, even though they were likely warranted for obstruction of justice. The Ukraine situation, where the first Trump impeachment in 2019 was, again, more complicated. This case is incredibly simple, and all of the evidence is on video. The prosecution, the House impeachment managers, Raskin and the others, have been very effective, in my opinion, in their use of media and social media, their models, video clips, and splicing of video one after the other. I have found to be very persuasive and impressive. I was worried that they weren't going to be as aggressive as I was hoping, because I felt like the impeachment managers in the Ukraine impeachment were not as aggressive as I would have liked to have been. But I feel like Raskin and the other reps, I don't want to discount the other reps, there are just several of them, Neguse and Castro and several other ones have been quite good. Those folks this time have been very aggressive in their use of media and social media to paint a narrative, which is really the best way to convince someone of a legal argument, is to paint a narrative using compelling evidence of your various factual points you're trying to prove. And the interesting thing is, if you read the Republican legal scholars' responses to the prosecution's case, like, for example, Taylor, who testified in favor, Jonathan Turley, the professor who testified in favor of the Republicans in the 2019 impeachment of the Ukraine, said that the problem is the Democrats aren't really trying the case to the jury, they're trying the case to the American people, and that's not fair. That's what Jonathan Turley said. And Jonathan Turley, exactly, he could go away, because the Republican Senate and the senators are not impartial jurors, and the Democratic
house fall on him.
The Democratic impeachment managers, by performing a beautiful narrative using good media and social media, because this is televised for the American people, they're doing the appropriate thing here. And the Republicans like Hawley and Cruz and Paul, who are doodling on notepads and ignoring the evidence, those are the ones who are derelict in their duty.
Okay, so we're going to play CNN's wrap-up of what happened today. And when on the other side, I want to ask you the constitutional argument that's being made that you can't do a trial on a president that's no longer in office. I want to get your honest opinion about it. Here we go.
to prepare
Very good.
for
Yes,
the
sir.
Trump defense. In fact, a group of key Republican senators also serving as jurors. We're seeing going into a private room with members of the Trump legal defense team. This as they plan their response to the Democratic House impeachment managers that work today to directly tie the actions of President Trump to what happened here on January 6th.
Senate's adjourned.
The Democratic House impeachment managers have rested their case against former President Donald Trump.
He attacked the First Amendment. He attacked the Constitution. He betrayed his oath of office. Presidents don't have any right to do that. It's forbidden.
The prosecutors wrapped their case with hours of time available, hoping a shorter presentation will have a greater impact.
All of my wonderful supporters.
On day 3, they tied Trump to the mob by showing that those who stormed the Capitol did so because they believed the president had sent them there.
You don't have to take my word for it that the insurrectionists acted at Donald Trump's direction. They said so.
Let's go, Trump, yes!
The managers showed several examples of rioters shouting Trump's name and proclaiming they were doing his bidding.
Does he not realize President Trump called us to siege the place? I was following my president. I thought I was following what we were called to do.
We're fighting for Trump.
They then showed how Trump offered his support for the mob and demonstrated no remorse for the role he played in inciting their anger.
My speech and my words and my final paragraph, my final sentence, and everybody to the T thought it was totally appropriate.
We know President Trump didn't make a mistake. Because you see, when you or I make a mistake and something very bad happens, we would show remorse. We would accept responsibility. President Trump didn't do any of that. Why not? Because he intended what happened on January 6th. And how do we know that? He told us.
Trump's legal team will get their opportunity to rebut the Democratic arguments tomorrow, but they attempted to get a head start today. Their lead lawyer, David Schoen, left the chamber while the trial was underway to go on Fox News. He promised their presentation will show no link between Trump and the actions of January 6th.
I think you'll at least be moved by what you see and get a much better picture of exactly what's going on here and the hypocrisy in some of the positions taken by the House managers in this case.
But Democrats believe they've provided overwhelming evidence of Trump's connection to the crime and warned that it was incumbent upon these jurors to hold him accountable because of what might happen in the future.
I'm not afraid.
So what do you think?
Well, I think that Democrat DeGette, the rep from Colorado, had a really effective presentation, and it was referenced in that piece by CNN where...
By the way, thank you to our friends at CNN for that footage.
Where she directly linked the words of the insurrectionist inside the Capitol to Donald Trump's speech. For example, that guy, Baked Alaska, I think his name is like Tim Giseum or so. I'm going to get it wrong, but he's a right-wing troll. He's a neo-Nazi, and he said something on video that was played in the impeachment along the lines of, "We're here because Trump invited us here. He's your boss." And that's very compelling evidence of the facts. You know, the claim, it's a very simple claim. The charge is that he incited an insurrection. He told a crowd of riled up people to go to the Congress and do harm. And then those exact people are saying very directly, we're doing this because of Donald Trump. So that's, towards the end of that piece, it said the Democrats appear to have been presenting overwhelming evidence, and I tend to agree. But as you and I have previously discussed, and I'm sure most of our listeners probably agree, the likelihood of an actual conviction is extremely low because the Republicans are craven. However, before the eyes of history and the American people, Trump is forever stained.
Of course. And, you know, let's be real here and down to earth. They were never going to convict Trump. It wouldn't matter. I'm not even going to try to make an analysis because I can't think of it because it's so outrageous and disgusting to me of the fact that these senators would rather hold on to their jobs. But what they need to remember when they were cowering in the corner because Trump's supporters in the riot were coming after all of them. And, I mean, I don't know if you've had time to listen to the footage. It's actually, or watch it, it's actually really horrifying. It was very hard for me to watch, and I have a very strong stomach, but it didn't matter almost. It wasn't. The whole purpose of them doing this, in my opinion, is to put it in the history books, is to put it on Donald Trump's legacy, because that's what he cares about. Doesn't matter a Capitol officer lost his life defending the same people that are voting against making the guy that got him killed responsible.
I do want to add, and I kind of interjected. I apologize for interjecting, but it's also for politics. I mean, the Republican Party looks really weak and craven right now. The
Republican Party is the GQP party now. The GOP quitting on.
Not the grand old party, the grand QAnon party. I have seen that, and I tend to agree. And you know but it's split. Apparently, there was it was widely reported that there was a call involving a lot of former Bush officials and kind of, I guess you would call them neo or center right Republicans, and they're considering seriously forming a new party. The GOP is very weak right now, and they're, part of the reason the Democrats' presentation is effective is even if the GOP senators do not convict, which is likely, the public and the world will see what's going on.
Don't you think they already do? And,
for the most part, yes. But, Cassidy changed his mind. There's something like 6 Republicans who I think are likely to vote to convict. And maybe we'll get 2 or 3 more. I'm not certain. If Castor and Schoen and the defense team do as badly during their case in chief as they did during their opening arguments, maybe the Republicans will vote to convict.
Well, you know what that song means? That song means that we need to take a quick break. This is All You Need to Know Radio with your host, John Hollywood, and my amazing sidekick and constitutional attorney, Amos Woolworth with Woolworth and Nunn. Tonight's show is brought to you exclusively by American Wealth Group USA. Guys, if you're in debt right now, go on their Facebook page and go to private message them. They are running 50% off their services if you say you heard about them on All You Need to Know Radio. So I really don't want to go to break right now because this is so important, but we'll just do a couple of commercials, pay a little bit of bills. You got to do that sometimes. It happens, don't you think? But anyway, so we'll be right back. This is All You Need to Know Radio. Don't touch that dial.
Dear God, how can I trust anyone after?
Be proud of home, safe, comfort, worthy of protection.
Family, home.
I was deployed to Afghanistan.
I was on patrol.
March 26, 2010.
During a dismounted patrol,
I happened to step in the wrong spot
and took a sniper round into the chest.
This is the date I was hit.
I lost my legs almost immediately.
I lost my left hand and both my legs above the knee.
My arm was gone, so I closed my eyes, thinking to myself, if I just keep breathing, I will make it home to my wife. I just wanted to serve my country. Every day I'm still adapting to this new life.
It was hard having everybody change their lifestyle to take care of me. A typical home doesn't feel like home to me.
They have to carry my chair up the stairs.
The hardest thing in my life is to have to call and yell for my children to help pick me off the bathroom floor. Where do you go when home isn't home anymore?
This is Mark Wahlberg. There are over 1,000 families that need our help. Townsend Towers is honoring those heroes that risk their lives by providing them with mortgage-free homes.
Yes, I'm on the waiting list to have a home built. It's going to be amazing.
The smart home technology, it makes my life a whole lot easier.
And it's 100% accessible. It's built to fit my needs. For me to gain independence again would be just amazing.
Be able to just take care of myself as an individual. This home will allow me to be self-sufficient.
It'll help me live my life. It gives me back some of my dignity, who I used to be.
There is a waiting list for houses.
This is the waiting list. There are a lot of people on that list, yeah.
There are a lot of guys like me out there. Maybe too many. It gives you back your dignity, your pride, your self-perseverance.
Thanks to Townsend Towers, I'm going to have all these freedoms given back to me. Home.
Personal. Safety.
Dignity. Family. Independence. Confidence. The American dream, isn't it? Home.
I'd like to ask you to contribute $11 a month to support their efforts. Please visit TownsendTowers.org.
No, there's no fake there. Maybe you were here? Oven mitts. Oven mitts. Everything's stuck in the drawers. I'm sorry. Oh, geez.
Hi.
Kelly Clarkson.
Try Wayfair.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna help you with all of this. Yeah, here you go.
Thank you.
Oh, I like that one. That's a lot of storage.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
I love it. How did you do all this?
Wayfair. Speaking of dinner, what are we eating, guys? Hosting a dinner party for your friends can be tough. So, here's the thing. No one's gonna know it's store-bought. Just you. So just put on something pretty. Boom. I'm the chef. Wait. You're welcome.
Less than 2 years ago, mortgage rates were between 5.5% and 6%. Do you know right now mortgage rates are nearly half of that? You can call TexasLending.com and may be able to drop your mortgage rate in half. Call 972-387-4600 or go online and apply with TexasLending.com. If you save just 1% on a $240,000 mortgage loan, you may save up to $200 every month in interest. Apply that savings towards your mortgage. Pay it off faster. Call TexasLending.com today, 972-387-4600. We won the Consumer's Choice Award for the last 13 years. Call right now. Talk with a live person for a free quote. 972-387-4600, TexasLending.com.
When you think mortgage, think TexasLending.com.
4100 Alpha Road, Suite 300, Dallas, Texas, 75244. And MLS number 137773. Equal housing lender.
All right, everybody, welcome back to All You Need to Know Radio. I'm your host, John Hollywood. Please join us every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, exclusively on blogtalkradio.com and / All You Need to Know Radio. And if you've missed any of our prior radio shows, don't worry about it. We've got you covered. We are very humbled to let you guys know that we are on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, which I think Google Play might have just stopped doing podcasts. Anywhere you can listen to your favorite podcast, All You Need to Know Radio is there. And most of the time, we're the number one podcast. So thank you so much for out there. Remember, tonight's show is brought to you by American Wealth Group USA. Find them on Facebook, private message them. If you want to get out of debt, this is who you need to go to. All right, Amos, so let's finish this up real quick. We all both agree that the Senate are cowards and they're going to let Donald Trump off.
Yes.
Now, it was interesting to me that one of the prosecutors with the Democrats actually said he's not concerned about Donald Trump running in 2024 and winning. He's worried about him losing because this could happen again.
Right, I believe that was Joaquin Castro of Texas, San Antonio, Texas, and his quote has gotten some headlines where it was something along. Yeah, you quoted it correctly, and I think it's a really interesting point that there is a real-world consequence. We were talking before the break about doing it for politics, about doing it for history, but there is the potential that if he is convicted, he will, if he's convicted, he will be legally disqualified from running for president in 2024. And I must assume that if he is acquitted and he's healthy, he's going to run for president in 2024. So
I don't think he has
a
a
very
chance
real
in hell.
world.
I don't think he has a chance in hell.
You say that, John, but the Republicans are scary and dangerous, and in response to winning Georgia, the Georgia Republican legislature is considering something like 4 new voter suppression bills.
But listen to this. The rules have changed. Donald Trump, the way that he was massively able to correspond with his massive amounts of social media is not there anymore. And he's permanently been banned until they put his fat ass in the ground. So he will not
what
have...
Twitter is saying. I agree.
And the My Pillow guy has been permanently banned again because he got on the whole thing about Donald Trump and the stolen, the big lie, which I don't even want
Lindell.
to speak because it's just sad. So
yeah, apparently he paid for a 3-hour documentary on OANN called Absolute Proof that was allegedly full of proof that the election was stolen from Donald Trump. And I have not watched the 3-hour documentary, but apparently other people who have said that there was no proof.
Well, let me tell you something. 62 courts threw every case out that was filed for lack of evidence.
Right.
Even the Supreme Court that he put 3 people on. I mean, my God.
Refused to hear their one major challenge. So, the other point to make about the case is the expected defense that we're going to hear starting tomorrow. And I want to make a legal point for your for your listeners, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So one of the points that is featured prominently in Trump's lawyers' briefs is that the First Amendment would bar a conviction for impeachment because all Donald Trump did was speak, and that conduct, that impeaching him for that conduct would violate his First Amendment rights. That is a ludicrous argument that has no basis in law. For a bunch of reasons, and let me explain a few of the simple ones. It has no basis in law because this is not a criminal trial. He does not have First Amendment protections to hold an office, to run for office. He can be disqualified from office for his speech. That is not a violation of the First Amendment. Another important reason is his conduct was not just speech. As demonstrated Democrats through the process of the trial, there was a bunch of things, not just saying words, that Donald Trump did to incite this crowd, to incite this insurrection, and that cannot be a First Amendment violation. There are several other reasons, more technical reasons, but it is important for your listeners to understand that it is a smokescreen. There is no legal basis for a First Amendment defense to this impeachment.
I totally agree with you. Now, here's a kicker. So say they acquit him. As a citizen, Donald Trump, can the DA go after him criminally?
Yes, and
that's what I hope.
Very interestingly, David Castor, one of his attorneys,
I know,
implied.
I started laughing so hard when I know what you're going to say. Go ahead. That's it. I mean, he implied that actually they should charge him criminally, which is a very stupid thing to do. He flat said that. Do you think that there's a chance of it happening?
I mean, so I have read that a United States attorney in the state of Georgia has opened an investigation into the potential for a election fraud charge on the basis of the phone call to Brad Raffensperger by Donald Trump. So
you mean that perfect phone call that
yes, that perfect phone call. That's correct.
But everybody thinks it was a perfect phone call, or was that the Ukraine
and
call?
Then,
I get confused.
Well, both of those calls are pretty. What's interesting about that, John, is they're similar phone calls.
They are really.
It's basically extortion. Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh, but I mean,
it's kind of ridiculous.
We put a reality star as the leader of our country, and we just get what we deserve. I mean, it's just that simple. That's just that simple.
America's full of good people, John, but I understand what you mean.
You understand what I mean, yeah. I mean, but still, here's a very big concern of mine. Almost 75 million people voted for this lunatic. I don't know why. Is that party? Is it because of the party? Because 75 million people didn't show up at the Capitol. I mean, what did they have there? 100,000 people? 10,000?
I think it was less than that.
Yeah,
more like 10,000 than 100,000.
And everybody out there, listen up to this. The reason that the Capitol Police were not really ready for this, they were specifically told by my sources, by the White House, to stand down. They were specifically told not to use any kind of force unless someone else had a weapon. So it's so sad in so many other ways. He's going to get away with it, but I don't think he's actually going to be an issue because Jack, the owner of Twitter, my hat's off to him if I could think of something to send him or give him, but he's one of the richest men in the world. He did the biggest service to this country by removing him from social media. And the very next day, the negative statements and misinformation on all social media went down by like 73 to 78% because Donald Trump wasn't on it.
I saw that too.
That's just crazy. All right, we got
it's crazy.
A little bit longer.
I do have something else. I do want to say one other thing about the prosecution question, which is, yes, I do think that theoretically either the state DA or potentially the U.S. Attorney for D.C. could likely charge Trump criminally for incitement of a riot. But I'm interested in what's going to happen with the New York State prosecutions regarding tax fraud, and because you recall it's a common thing that is said, but Al Capone went down for tax fraud, not all those murders he ordered. So I think that there's his own attorney, Michael Cohen, Trump's own attorney, Michael Cohen, testified essentially that Trump commits tax fraud on a regular basis before the House committee, and so I'd be interested to see what happens with that investigation because I suspect that's going to be the hardest one for him to weasel out of.
Well, and part of me wants to just say, why don't we all just stop and just quit giving this guy any oxygen? You know what I'm saying? Because if all it does is keep him in the media. And it'll be very interesting to see because Donald Trump is a very egotistical son of a bitch. Expletive show now. But if we just stopped giving this guy the energy and no oxygen in the media, do you think he would go away? Or not be as powerful?
The short answer,
not be as powerful.
Not be as powerful, I agree with. Go away, I disagree with.
Well, the good thing for us is he eats really bad, he doesn't exercise, and he's a fat-ass old man. So maybe nature and God will take his course. Let's move on to the new president, Joe Biden.
Okay.
Amos, how do you think our new president is doing?
So far, I'm pleased. today he issued a new executive action rescinding the prior executive order of an emergency declaration for the wall in South Texas and along our border with Mexico. So that's something that I'm very happy with from a policy perspective. He
so
also
explain that to the audience. Explain that to the audience. What does that mean?
Sorry, I used very lawyery words there. The wall got canceled today.
You mean the one Mexico was going to pay for?
Yeah, that one. And really what he really did, the real thing that happened, is there was an emergency declaration where Donald Trump, BS, said immigration's an emergency, therefore I could use this special emergency act to take funding. Because Congress has the power of the purse. Congress is the one that could fund such a project, but they refused to do so. The Republicans and the Democrats couldn't come to an agreement, and the Congress refused funding for the wall. And so Trump signed this crazy, unconstitutional, definitely way unconstitutional executive order saying, we're just going to take this money because it's an emergency and start building the wall. And they built about an eighth of the wall, and Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, undid that emergency declaration today and canceled the wall, which is about an eighth complete, and Mexico didn't pay a penny for. But we paid $500 million for. So there you have it. But
you know what's
also,
great about that?
Biden,
is that Donald Trump's supporters actually help pay for that with their tax-paying dollar money.
Yes.
And they're such idiots, and they're blind, dumb, and deaf, and they don't get it. They think Donald Trump is personally paying for that wall? Hell no. Donald Trump doesn't pay his own bills.
Well, to be fair, the American government didn't pay for it either. It's all borrowed money. But
we should be China USA. We really should. We should be China USA. We owe China so much money. And don't you find it rich that the Republicans all of a sudden have got the conscience back of our budget and everything because they don't have Donald Trump holding their purse?
It was incredibly predictable, but they're the ones who are to blame. I mean, they ran up ridiculous record deficits, and not because of the coronavirus, but because of other matters, because they're making mistakes with trade and taxation. But that's not really what I was going to say. I want to talk about Joe Biden, who is doing a good job with the coronavirus vaccine and appears to be on track to really vaccinate most of America before the end of the year.
It's better than that. They just released an article on Thursday. It was announced that the United States will have enough coronavirus vaccines for 300 million Americans by the end of July. That's incredible.
Well, but getting the vaccine and then getting it into people's arms is the hard part. Yeah. The logistics of getting people to get the shot.
When using that term, getting it in the arm, you know that Trump made fun of Dr. Fauci when he said that? That's how stupid the guy is.
Yes, I actually did. The guy, he's living rent-free in both of our heads. Let's talk about Biden. And let's talk about, I know this is a subject near and dear to your heart, John. Secretary of Transportation confirmed Pete Buttigieg, the first openly gay cabinet secretary, who has promised to make high-speed rail a priority.
Pete Buttigieg. I can say his name. He's
I think high-speed rail. He's married, John.
I know. But that's really what's good is because he actually has more morals and loyalty to his husband than most of Congress.
Yes. I agree with that, actually. But something that really I love is rail, and I love Europe. My mother is from there, and the rail in Europe is one of the best parts. It's one of the best methods of travel. And here in Texas, I would love to hop on a bullet train to go to Austin instead of having to go through the airport. I mean, it would be so good for the state of Texas with where we have Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas with Waco in between. That would be such a good bullet train line. And it would change Texas's economy forever. And I think Buttigieg might get it done.
I think that Buttigieg is such a incredible example and someone to look up to, our children can look up to in our government, and the way that he's intellectual. He actually served our country, which of the presidents before him did not. But even more than that, he actually will answer questions when he's asked them, and he doesn't give you the runaround. That's why he got standing ovations on Fox News when he was actually running for president, because they were shocked of the way he was able to answer questions directly instead of lie to them or give them the runaround. And did you see him? I didn't actually see this position that Joe Biden would pick for him. I knew he was going to be part of Joe Biden's cabinet. Secretary of Transportation, I didn't see that. I'm just curious.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't either, but I'm happy with the pick.
I do too. I am too.
And I mean, he's got other good cabinet members. Honestly, can I have a 2-minute warning or something soon, because it's I need to meet with my girlfriend for dinner.
You have the floor, my friend. Guys, you need to
Thank you very much.
When Amos comes on our show, this is a very busy man. We are so blessed to be able to get him every single week. He's been with us over a year now. Love him to death. Almost Wars with Wars and None. Close it out. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, John. And let me echo that right back at you. It's such a deep pleasure to be able to speak about politics and the news and the order of the day in a public forum like this. It brings me so much joy to do this. I do not do this for the purposes of marketing. I do this for the purposes of political engagement and because I enjoy it. And again, thank you. So my brief 2-minute closing statement is that the impeachment trial of Donald Trump is a historic moment in American history. And my hope is that more Republicans will cross over and join the heroic and brave Mr. Cassidy from Louisiana in voting to convict Donald Trump. Even if it doesn't happen, the American people need to remember what happened on January 6th for the rest of their lives and in every future election. We need to support Joe Biden. Stay safe, get vaccinated, and I love you all.
Thank you, sir. I was almost Wars with Wars and None. We'll have him next week. Coming up, guys, we need to take a quick break and pay some bills. Coming up in our entertainment watch, Pop Princess or Pop Queen, whichever you say, Britney Spears puts out a documentary basically telling you what's going on in her life. We're going to tell you about this documentary and the name of it, and it's unprecedented in the access that she explains why she doesn't want to be under a conservatorship. She really despises her father, and she goes into that. I actually watched it this morning, and I was pretty shocked by it. This is Trisha Yearwood, and you're listening to All You Need to Know Radio. And make sure that you listen to us every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tell your friends and family about us, because if you're not listening to All You Need to Know Radio, you are not in the know. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
You got this, baby. So what have you done?
Driving less. Isn't it time car insurance companies offer a discount for that? At Elephant Insurance, we do. Elephant's new work-from-home discount is simple. The more days you work from home, the bigger your discount. Elephant's easy online tools show you ways to save, helping you find dependable coverage that fits your needs. That's insurance on your terms. See how much you can save with Elephant's new work-from-home discount. Get a quote today at elephant.com.
Hey, is anybody out there looking for some advertising that you will definitely get some response from? Well, All You Need to Know Radio is ready to open up our market, and we're only going to be taking just a few people as commercials, and we have a executive sponsor at this time. However, we are always looking for different things. If you're interested in advertising with us, you get personalized service like this is John Hollywood, your host of All You Need to Know Radio. I write your own commercial. I ask you a few questions about your business, and we can talk about price. We can talk about me voicing the commercial. We can talk about how we can help your business expand, and it won't cost you an arm and a leg. Once again, All You Need to Know Radio wants to know, do you want to make some more money for your business? If you do, then go to All You Need to Know Radio on Facebook and let us know.
There's only two types of people in the world. The ones that entertain and the ones that serve. Well, baby, I'm a put on a show kind of girl. Don't like the back seat, gotta be first. I'm like the ringleader, I call the shots. I'm like a firecracker, I make it hot when I put on a show. This kitten got your tongue tied in a pussy. Spit it out, 'cause I'm dying for company. I notice that you got it, you notice that I want it. You know that I can take it to the next level, baby. If you want this goodness, sicker than the remix. Baby, let me blow your mind tonight. I can't take no more. Never felt like this before. Come on, get me on the floor. DJ, what you waiting for?
All right, everybody, welcome back to All You Need to Know Radio. I am your host, John Hollywood. Make sure you follow us and become part of our family that reaches almost 100,000 people worldwide. You heard right, almost 500,000 people worldwide. Go Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. TikTok is my new obsession, okay? Now, don't laugh at me because I don't know what you're expecting me to when you see me on TikTok. But what I do is find songs and you lip sync to them and you dance around. And TikTok is to have fun. So everybody, I appreciate all the really positive comments of people saying, "Are you really singing that song?" Full disclosure on TikTok, no, they'll actually ban you for life. I don't want to be banned from TikTok, but it's a lot of fun. So we're on there. Just look for John Hollywood. I'm on there as my name. And then we're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, there's so many. I can't even remember them all. But it's always All You Need to Know Radio. So that young lady you heard singing those two #1 hits, which she has so many more of. In today's Entertainment Watch, we bring you a look into the life of pop princess Britney Spears. Sadly, Britney Spears, NBC News reports Britney Spears' father loses bid. No, hold on, Britney Spears' father. Okay, no, this is good news. Britney Spears' father loses bid to retain control of delegating her investments. The joint conservatorship powers were debated in the court Thursday and intensified scrutiny over James Spears, control of his daughter's estate. So let me explain what's going on. Britney Spears, she has some mental problems, and it comes with her upbringing of her family. Really, she was a made star. I mean, she won Star Search. Everybody tries to make fun of her singing, but she's definitely singing live when she sings "World Can Build a Bridge," and she hits the high notes. And I should have played it for you, but this is more important. So Kevin Federline, which she only married him because he has a big dick, apparently, which I found that very shallow on her end, but she's financially paying the price. When she started dating Kevin, she was worth $400 million. Now she's worth less than $200 million. But that's okay. The thing is, with Kevin Federline, he caused a lot of problems in her life, and he was a backup dancer. But I already told you why she got involved with him, and when she got involved with him, she got a lot of bad press about it because he had other kids. He was either married or still dating a black girl that I don't remember her name. There was a big deal made about it because of the black woman. But anyway, when Kevin went to court, when they got divorced, Kevin went to court because he wanted alimony because he can't get a job. He was a broke backup dancer who saw a meal ticket in Britney Spears, and Britney Spears saw a guy with a big dick and thought it was worth it. I'm going to shoot it to you straight. That's what it is. It's not worth it. Let me tell you, there are millions of guys that are so much hotter than Kevin Federline with bigger dicks than Kevin Federline. Anyway, so when the court awarded Kevin Federline such an outrageous amount of child support and plus awarded Kevin Federline full custody, then Britney Spears literally mentally lost her mind. She locked herself in the bathroom. It was all over the news in her mansion. Helicopters, at least 10 helicopters, I believe, were over her house, which is the media once again just hounding Britney Spears. And she was taken out in an ambulance. She did eventually agree to release her children because she didn't want to lose her children. And she really thought in her mind that if she could hold on to them in the bathroom, she wasn't doing anything but just trying to bide as much time as she could with her kids. Was it right? Absolutely not. But don't judge. Glass houses, bitches. Everybody has some kind of problems. Britney Spears are just magnified by the millions and millions that are just obsessed with her. So, Britney Spears finally understood, and she got some help. And so now she does have visitation rights with her kids, and that's been going really well. Well, her father, while she was in the hospital, he petitioned the court to become a conservatorship over her estate. So basically, you have a woman that I think she was in her late 20s or maybe early 30s. I think it's her late 20s. And she has no control over her life. But yet she's expected to perform like a doll. So she did. She did for many years. And she made a lot of money. But her scumbag of a father got paid $750,000 every 3 months, he should have done it for free as her blood father. I have no respect for James Spears. I thought, really had Britney Spears' best interest at heart until you start reading the court papers. Because you can read, if you have access to Pacer, which I do, or eFile, which I do too, you can look at cases. But let's be clear, any mental information or any information about her kids is all redacted from the court filings. But then Britney Spears got very smart and started using her social media because she went to court several times trying to get her father removed as the conservatorship, and it was denied every time. Now, I do not have anything against the judge the same judge that's been over this conservatorship for, I think it's 13 years. So the ruling today that James Spears is no longer in control of delegating her investments is a big win for Britney Spears. Let me tell you how this came about. So the Los Angeles Superior Judge, Brenda Penny, she denied the singer's petition last year because Britney wanted a bank appointed as her trust, but not her father. That was Britney had no problem to go under conservatorship. She realized she had a problem. She wanted to be there for her kids, so she didn't want anything to happen to her. But her father was taking advantage of her, and that's a disgrace. He's a disgrace to all parents. What we didn't know, we really never heard anything from Britney's mother. So Britney's mother, Lynn Spears, finally started coming out and going, what's going on with my daughter? And she really didn't know what to do. You know, and Jamie Spears is Britney's sister, and she's big talent in herself. So Britney started using her Instagram, which, what does her Instagram reach? Let's tell you, because we follow Britney Spears on Instagram. Oh, Instagram is one I don't think I mentioned. So Britney Spears on Instagram alone reaches 27.7 million people around the world. I mean, she's a big star. She really is. In fact, there's a beautiful picture of her, the backside of her, with a beautiful ass in a green dress. But she started posting cryptic messages that Britney's fans started realizing she is crying out for help. So these two girls, and when the name of the documentary is Framing Britney Spears, and you can see it on Hulu, I believe is the best place to watch it. And you better do it quick, because who knows how long it's going to be up there. Hulu takes things down and puts them up faster than anything. Like right now, there's always the television on. Right now, CBS News is doing a story. Britney Spears' conservatorship heads back to court. And I already told you the outcome. I'm not sure why they're talking about it right now. So they started a organization, a podcast called Free Britney. And I'm sure you've heard about it, unless you've been living under a rock. At first, people thought it was a joke, and I was one of them, but it wasn't. It was a cry for help. And it's honestly what really got the court looking at this case in a different light, I believe. So, watch Framing Britney Spears. It's heartbreaking to watch Britney Spears. There's an interview she does with Matt Lauer, and the disgraced Matt Lauer that had a button under his desk to close the door so he could sexually harass women. Thank God he's off TV. But in the interview, Matt Lauer says to Britney, what can you do to get the paparazzi to stop bothering you and hounding you day and night? And she's crying. I mean, you can tell she's bloated, so she's pregnant again. But you just see sad. She was smiling before he asked the question. Her face goes very sad, and tears start running down her cheeks. And she says, I don't know, but if you do, please tell me. I wish they would stop. I don't know what to do to get them to stop. Then they interview this guy that says he's not paparazzi, he's a filmmaker, BS. It says Britney Spears really likes all the attention at first because it helped sell records, pictures. I mean, a picture with Britney Spears from the paparazzi were going for $1 million a piece. Just a picture. I mean, Jesus Christ. But that's how popular she is. I mean, and she's sold, I think, over 300 million albums worldwide. I mean, every one of her albums went number one, except the one album she did no press for because of Kevin Federline. I wish that guy would drop off the face of the earth. Besides, well, no, he is a good father. And I think he's got some other woman pregnant now or something. But and what's sad in that is that I really hope they're not using Britney Spears' money because he won't get a job. And you know, Britney's probably just to the point that she just wants to enjoy her life. But she has said as long as her father remains in the conservatorships, she apologized to her fans, but she has refused to work anymore. In fact, she was having a brand new Vegas show called Domination. And when Britney Spears showed up for the grand opening where reporters and some of her fans have been waiting for hours and hours and hours, she literally just came up from the bottom of a stage in a beautiful dress and walked by everybody, didn't address the reporters, and then a statement was released on the big screen that Vegas show had been canceled due to her father's illness. I don't think that was true. So it's called Framing Britney Spears. Britney, I've met you before. I'm sure you don't remember me, but it was at NSYNC's concert up here in Dallas. You opened for them. And then you and I sat next to each other almost the entire show. I found her to be incredibly innocent. Just a normal person. What I found for Britney Spears is that when she's she's watching a movie or she's eating dinner, she has one personality. When she hits the stage, she becomes mega pop star Britney Spears, and she entertains the hell out of you. Framing Britney Spears, we recommend that you go and go watch it. You'll have a whole new respect. Remember, celebrities are just people just like you and I. Like, have you guys ever heard of Brothers Osborne? Well, T.J. Osborne came out of the closet. Welcome to the family, my friend. But I love their music. But first of all, let's be clear. My family has big stars in it. Several of my best friends are big stars. But whenever I listen to music, like our song pick of the week we're getting ready to do, I never think about, is he gay? And that's why I want to buy his music. Let's make it very clear that it's no one's business of what an artist does in their personal life. You're listening to them for their music. You're supporting them for their music, not for anything else. So, speaking of incredible artists, Billie Eilish, This Is My Future. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with our song pick of the week. This is John Hollywood, your host of All You Need to Know Radio. On the other side, get ready. This song pick is special.
Yourself.
Welcome back to the mirror.
And know you're not alone. It's because this,
Come on, Jesse, one more.
is a reflection of an unstoppable community. In the mirror.
No, there's no fake there. Maybe you were here? Oven mitts. Everything's stuck in the drawers. I'm sorry. Oh, geez.
Hi.
Kelly Clarkson.
Try Wayfair.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna help you with all of this. Yeah, here you go.
Thank you.
Oh, I like that one. That's a lot of storage.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
I love it. How did you do all this?
Wayfair. Speaking of dinner, what are we eating, guys? Hosting a dinner party for your friends can be tough. So, here's the thing. No one's gonna know it's store-bought. Just you. So just put on something pretty. Boom. I'm the chef. Wait. You're welcome.
I believe you should get more. That's why we merged with Sprint. Now, it's about to get even better. And as we work to integrate Sprint's network, Our nationwide 5G keeps getting stronger, with the capacity and coverage to reach more people and places across the country. Who says you can't have it all? Now is the time for 5G. Now is the time to join T-Mobile.
Sick and tired of hearing all these people talk about what's the deal with this pop life and when is it gonna fade out? The thing you got to realize what we're doing is not a trend. We got the gift of melody, we're gonna bring it till the end. Come on now. Carve a tie, but I wear around my neck. All that matters. You recognize that it's just about respect. It doesn't matter how we clothes I wear and where I go and why. All that matters is that you get hyped and we'll do it to you every time. Come on now. Never wonder why. Music gets you high. It takes you on a ride. It's your lifestyle to ride. You just got and it's all you got. Come on now. Dirty pop, baby, you can't stop. I know you like this dirty pop. Now, why you wanna try to classify? If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to All You Need to Know Radio. I apologize. We're not going to do our song pick of the week because we are out of time. Please make sure that you go and watch Framing Britney Spears. It will really make you think differently about the pop star. Also, please try to love each other each day. We have got to learn how to live with each other on this little island. And all the hate that Trump stirred up in the world, it breaks my heart. It really does. Wear a mask when you go out. I know that the coronavirus is not fun. Please get vaccinated. It's so important. Do not listen to the former president who lies about everything in their world. I'm telling you right now, as soon as I can get vaccinated, I am going to get vaccinated. Once again, we want to thank our exclusive sponsor, American Wealth Group USA, and you can find them on social media. I would suggest that you go to Facebook and private message them. Mention you heard about them on All You Need to Know Radio, and they'll give you 50% off their debt negotiation and debt counseling services. Until then, until next week, thank you for joining us here live in Dallas, Texas. I'm Don Hollywood, your host of All You Need to Know Radio. If you're not listening to All You Need to Know Radio, you're not in the know. Tell your friends and family about us. Good night, and take care of each other.
You're so very